You guys think that about the impact of culturally of what he did, and what does it raise his status in the lexicon of all time greats? Does it elevate Kendrick? Does it demote Drake with the probably the greatest ass whooping we've ever seen?
I mean, Drake is been out of the conversation for a while because
Sure, he still sell records though. This is the closest
not even
anybody.
That's not going so well.
This is the closest anybody's careers came close to being ended since Ja Rule. So
yeah, it's right along. It's right on.
What do y'all think about that, Savon? What do you feel? What do you think Kendrick ranks in?
Well, I mean, I think it immediately elevates him because very few people have done what he's done, you know. So now, I'm not a huge Kendrick fan. Like I know everything about his discography,
right?
But I know that he is capturing this moment as quality as he can capture this moment. So I think it elevates him to a certain extent, especially amongst younger people. But you know, he's breaking my top 20. I'm still not going to say that he's, you know, this to me yet.
Right.
But I think in terms of especially this new generation, I'm old now, but this new generation, he's the baddest man in the world, and I can't be mad at it.
I mean, he might crack my top 25, mate, when I encompass everything he's done from a career standpoint. Rod, what do you feel? Before you go,
he's definitely elevated himself as one of the greats of this era.
Okay.
Given the accomplishments, you know what I mean. It's not just the Super Bowl performance, but you know this man is a Pulitzer Prize winner. You know what I mean. So
yeah,
you know, people really just lose sight of that. So really what it is that pardon me.
It's all good.
So so really what it is that I think there was some room there in the performance. I think one thing, regardless of what it would be, like I think he just had that one chance to have that Tommy Smith and John Carlos moment. You know what I mean? At the '68 Olympics with the, you know, with the performance, and he didn't quite get that, but he made a pointed enough statement for people to really, you know, to really get it, or at least a lot of people will really get it. You know what I'm saying? The MAGA folks, you know what I'm saying? The Saltines, they really mad, and I enjoyed that. But I think we give it a few more years and a few more big, you know what I'm saying? A few more big moves. You know, like he may crack into the top 10. He may.
Skills.
Only time could tell.
Skills. What's your take in terms of his impact and how he's elevated himself, his legacy?
I think that for many people in my generation, he is in the top 10. I don't know what else he can do. Like he's like the Pulitzer Prize. That's, you feel me? That is a very high honor. He has a lot of classic albums. We can debate on what a lot is, you feel me? But
at least two.
He has many classic albums,
yeah,
at least two.
More than one. So
Few and Impossible, Bad Space, and you feel me? But with that being said, like he has set a bar of excellence and he's kept it up there. Like it's for the longest time, it's been him and Cole for a lot of people. So, and then like him defecating on Drake like this, but I think it was well deserved. You feel me? Like Drake is lucky he didn't do Meet the Grams. I'm petty. I'd have did part of Meet the Grams at the Super Bowl. You feel me? But that's just me. I'm very sure that he's going to do that when he performs in Toronto because that's on him and SZA's.
It's crazy. He did Euphoria.
One or two dates.
He did. He did a little part of Euphoria. He did.
Right. Yeah.
Slick Vic.
Oh man.
I think what's really unique about what Drake has done in this moment is that he's done something that in this era of hip hop only.
You think it's unique what Drake has done at this moment?
Yeah, what Kendrick has done in this moment is something unique that only in this era you could say that only Eminem has been able to be artistically and lyrically very strong and go and break into pop realm. at the same time. And we all know that that's largely because of Eminem's lack of complexion, that he's able to break through into the pop realm while still being a high level lyrical MC. Kendrick managed to do that as a melanated MC in this moment, which is very unique and rare, that he's been able to be artistically on point, lyrically excellent, but also have 3 albums in the top 10 simultaneously. That's never happened before. And so in that aspect of his legacy is very unique, that no one's done that. And I think that this current acceleration of what has happened from the Drake conflict through the Super Bowl, dropping the album, it at least puts him in the conversation of the top 20, where for me, he wasn't quite there yet. I think that he's probably somewhere between. It's hard for me to say top 10 just now because the top 10 is a very sacred realm. And when you talk about, yes, he's the best in this, one of the best in this era of mainstream rap, but being the best in this mainstream era of rap is akin to being flat earth, in that there's a firmament, there's a dome over top of that potential, because being the best in this era of mainstream rap is a very low ceiling. I always go back to, if you put the best of this era against the top 17 of the 90s era, they're not even getting in that discussion with those 17. So it's a little different, but what Kendrick remains and has been is he's at least the base level of how good you're supposed to be. If you consider yourself a top tier MC, you better be at least that good. And at least he's upholding that standard in a way that the rest of the mainstream is able to see that it's visible, that level of rapping is still current in hip hop, in the mainstream, that is.
Exactly. And I think that he's really just become the man of the moment. When you think about, how we talk about all these mumble rappers and these people without any kind of real topics, or making, music that we consider trash. Like he's almost like a Mozart to people listening in our ears, you know what I mean?
And he makes it harder for them to exist as easily as they used to.
Right.
There are more young children. The best thing about it all is there are more young children coming into listening to hip hop and hearing that there is a standard. Where for some time, it didn't matter what the standard was.
Right.
Okay, I think that's all. That's all we need. I mean, I don't have anything else about Kendrick Lamar. He probably is my top 25 for what he's done in terms of his accomplishments. I mean, his greatness is unquestioned at this point. I like Kendrick a lot, but I don't necessarily enjoy always listening to him. Something about his voice that throws me off.
Same here.
But other than that, I mean, it's a lot of stuff, a lot of the choices he made, and the willingness and the desire to go and make statements, I really, really appreciate and respect. Because it's definitely something that's hard to do. You can really almost destroy your career like that. You can lose a lot of your fan base because people seem to be turned off by anyone trying to elevate the consciousness of the people, and I'll never understand.
Yeah. I think we got to thank the late great Tupac a lot for that, because his influence is clearly strong on him, and Tupac was that way too, that he was willing to put the consciousness in his music. And hopefully there's some young kids now listening to Kendrick that'll carry that torch forward in the future.
I mean, and now you got Cole. Cole has stepped aside of it, but he's just been making magical work himself for about a decade, for real. And he has his fan base aside from a Kendrick. So at least you're seeing multi representatives of people who are getting back to real lyricism and real conscious thought in the music that they're making.
I'll let that be the last thought.